Who's been turning this week? I just got to find out who's been popping up at the lake, kicking some shavings on the floor. Come on,
Take a
y'all.
look here. I'm
I
pretty
haven't
sure
been.
Dale's been cleaning, doing some turnings here. Let's see.
Who?
Dale,
I
what you
haven't
got?
been turning. I've been milling. Nice.
You see the detail work.
Walnut. And as you can see, I did more than just turn it.
Yep.
You did a little
Got
bit of
some little-
embellishing, all right?
That's
Yeah,
really
took
cool.
a Dremel to it. And then I finished it with some shellac.
Looks nice, Dale.
Well, thank
Good.
you.
Did you darken the embossment?
What's that?
Did you darken the embossment? Did you do anything?
Nope. Nope, that's just the way the bit burned it while I
Looked
was
good.
doing it.
Cool.
And then I got this little piece here that I turned, and I hollowed
really
it
pretty.
with my medium-sized #1 hollower that I bought with part of my income tax money.
There you
That's
go.
the only
Nice.
That's the only new tool I got in the last year. And when I was turning this to start with, I thought maybe I'd color it, but when I got done, I liked the
Yeah,
Like-
Mother Nature did a good job on the coloring.
yeah.
Yep.
And this one just got some Hampshire sheen and beeswax.
Nice.
Very nice.
And if anybody hasn't tried a #1 hollower, and I had to buy it, I'm not sponsored by anybody. I found that #1 hollower sure made hollowing a lot easier than trying to do it with the bowl gouge.
All right.
That's
Good
what
to
I
know.
got this week.
All right. Thank
Nice,
you, Dale.
Dale.
Yeah, JJ, I'll get you some pictures as soon as I get a chance to take them.
All right. All right,
Sounds
let's go
good.
see what Dewey's got. Hey, Dewey.
Well, I've been filling with a little bit of color again and doing some
There we
blending.
go.
Oh,
Nice.
nice.
Blending.
I love
Very
the
well
Watermelon.
fooling with the lure to color, fooling with them.
Yeah,
I
it looks
love it.
like a watermelon.
Right?
I
Well,
like that, Dewey.
I spit out all the seeds. So anyway, but
That's very nice.
yeah, and bunch of coats of gloss enamel on it. And
What paints or colors did you use?
this is Createx
Createx airbrush paint?
airbrush paint. Yeah, yeah. It's all transparent, all of it transparent paint.
Yep, very nice.
And the wall, this is pear, and pear's a little bit dark. So I did it the first time, and it just didn't blend very well. So I sanded it all off, and then I put a coat of white on first, and then do the color blend, and it came out looking a lot better. So
I've done that before also. The white background or bleaching it or whatever really makes the colors pop. Excellent idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, nicely done.
So anyway, that's my contribution for the week. Thank you, fellas and ladies.
Very
Wow,
pretty.
thanks for contributing. Looks great, Dewey.
That also belongs in the newsletter.
Right on. Sure.
I'll
Right.
send you a picture right
Matt,
now.
who we got up? Who we got up next?
Next up is Roger. What you got, Roger?
Well, I've got a yarn bowl is what it's going to be. But if
Oh,
you
nice.
look, you see the two.
I see
And-
ET smoking a cigar.
Yeah,
Yeah, it looks like ET.
It's funny.
The
I see an
problem is-
otter over on the right.
This has gone out of round now. I thought
I
ingrain
thought you were
bowls didn't
showing.
do that.
No, they do, but they just don't do it the same way that side grain bowls do.
Yeah.
Right.
So anyway, here's
Yeah, but
another one.
It won't keep you from making it into a yarn bowl, though.
It won't.
Right.
Now this one, you see that stripe there?
Mhm.
Yes.
Yeah. It's in this one too, but
Oh,
It's
yeah,
not all the way down,
right,
but it comes back out right there.
Interesting.
right. You cut it away in that one,
What's
There-
that?
in between where you can see it on
Yeah.
the top and the bottom. But on the other one, you
Oh.
didn't cut it all out.
Looks beautiful though.
It is gorgeous.
What kind of wood was it, Roger?
Elm.
Elm.
Very
Red
nice.
elm?
Friend of mine has a
Very,
tree that was dead, and he says, "Come out and get what you want." So he loaded my truck up for me.
Nice.
So,
Did he unload it too?
uh-huh.
Did he unload it too?
No, he didn't. So,
Yeah, I love elm, a lot of green, pretty colors.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
know I
Buddy's
like the
giving you half
Siberian
the
elm.
word if he doesn't
Green
unload it
colors.
for you.
one
Right.
yarn bowl, and two people saw it, and they said they want one too. So,
Outstanding.
it's a good problem to have.
Right?
Yep.
Hell yeah. Good job, Rod.
all right,
Very-
thanks.
All right. Well, next up is Ruby. So let's see what Ruby's got.
Okay, well, the other morning, the wood mill called and I had a job to do for them. It was making two hammer handles, which was a bit of a challenge because they were rectangular. And when I dropped them off, I happened to spot this banister, which is oak. And this was the
Wow.
piece that was left over from the banister that they were going to put in with the firewood.
Oh my.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
No way.
Nice
Good
recovery.
save. Good save.
So naturally, being a little bit frugal, I grabbed it, and from it I made a couple of some more salt and pepper shakers,
Wow.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
and used the bad pieces of banister from it.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
That-
bad.
That's
Yeah, that curl is just absolutely horrible. I would,
Right.
you just can't do anything with that stuff.
You know, that stuff causes that stuff causes diseases. I don't know if you should have keep that stick there. You know?
And then I got a head start on planting season because it went over 50 here for a couple days. So this is a press for making the little, you put soil in the newspaper, you wrap the newspaper around the bottom of this, and then you press it in here to create the little,
Hold it up.
okay, and then to create these, and what you do is you fill them with soil and seeds and get them ready for planting. So this is the bottom of this piece, and this just fits right on like that.
Nice.
Perfect.
Interesting.
Cool.
You don't want all that wood, Ruby. You can send some to me.
Yeah.
You do realize that within the next day or so, it would cost you at least 25% tariff duties.
Right.
I'll get it sent before the tariff goes into effect.
Hey, Ruby, I'd be willing to pay that tariff duty to get that wood down here.
Not a thing. Not a problem with that.
Yeah, I've never seen a piece of curly oak that curly as
I haven't either.
this banister, and the entire piece is like that.
Wow.
Yeah,
Which-
I've not.
That's a
I've seen
beautiful
bits
piece.
and I've seen short runs of curl in oak, but nothing like that.
So what's your plans for it?
I might actually use part of it as a banister here, but it's almost too nice.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear you.
Make a
Sure
nice
it's pretty wood.
Make a nice
Hey,
book.
Ruby, we don't have any tariffs. You can send some across to me.
Okay. Actually, I'll bring it over with me, okay, Wayne?
Okay.
I guess I could get away from the tariff by getting in my car and driving to Windsor.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
that's-
Ron. We could do that, Ron. We absolutely could. I'm sure Ruby doesn't want to give the wood up, though.
Not right now. I kind of got attached to it.
Yep.
Because I've got a real ID, so I don't have to have a passport.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Nice, nice.
time to go to someone else now.
Thanks, Ruby. Next up is Dan. Hey, Dan, are you there, buddy?
Yeah, he's in the back.
Dan, come back. Come back.
I think he's coming. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm here.
You're up. You're up, Dan.
All right. Somebody muted me here.
Yeah, because
Oh,
your
we
other
can
one
hear
ain't
you.
muted.
All right. Well, I was busy. And I made some bells.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Very nice.
That's one. That's
That's
another.
pretty.
That's very sharp. Yeah, yeah. Nice job.
And here's another one.
Nice.
Very nice.
Very nice.
And then I started making some little bowls, cups.
Oh, there you go, Dan.
And I like to make things small. And if I like the design, then I make it bigger later.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. I do
I
that
like
too.
that.
Very cool. Very cool.
And I like different bottoms on them. So I tried this bottom.
Oh, that's nice.
Nice.
And how do you like it, Dan?
How do I like it? I love it. Actually, it kind of has got a nice taper coming up.
Yeah.
Make a bigger one. Then I got this one.
That's nice.
Yeah.
And it's just got a flat bottom, curved.
What wood is that?
This is just a brush from around a tree, you know.
Oh.
Not tree, a
Fine.
yeah, kind of vine.
Well, it looks good.
And this was a piece of maple.
Did it yellow from the finish?
That's pretty.
Yeah.
Interesting. Nice.
Good.
What kind of finish you put on it?
That's tongue oil.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Tongue oil and linseed oil were both amber woods.
Yeah, I put linseed oil, I sand it with linseed oil, and then I put tongue oil on afterwards. And I made this because I seen a rainbow, and it kind of reminded me of.
Pot of gold.
Yeah, I was just waiting for the
That's
rainbow
cool.
to come into it.
I like
What you need is, now you need to turn some little leprechauns.
Yep.
And dump
You know,
in
you
some,
can
and
do
dump in
that.
some
You can do that with the
Lucky
hose in the
Charms.
sun. You could do that with the hose in the sun. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it also reminded me of my grandmother's spittoon.
There you go.
And then I made this one. I just like the colors in it. And it's
Yeah,
got,
that's
Mother
pretty.
Nature did good.
Yeah, that's cool.
got a nice little design.
Very nice.
I like this bolting.
Yeah.
It's a good way to practice your shapes.
Yep.
Yep.
And you don't have nothing invested really. In this one,
Kind of wood.
that's that maple again.
Maple again.
Wow.
Yeah,
That looks
it's
good.
it's cool when you can get the pith in the piece like that. It really, I like doing that. If you don't get cracking or warping, it's nice to have the pith in it. It adds a lot of character to the piece.
Yeah, it is. And I got one more bell.
You.
There you go. You textured it down where the black's at, right?
There's a,
Yep.
I
yeah,
like
it's a
that
blue.
one.
That's pretty.
Let's see the ringer.
Yeah, I didn't hear any of them ringing.
Oh, I got them. I just haven't put them in yet.
Okay. Real bells, I hope.
Then there's this little candy dish.
But
Which-
you're not supposed to eat one corner of it.
Yeah.
That's got some really nice feather in it.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does.
Beautiful piece of wood.
I got the other half of this to do.
Cool.
So
Very nice.
Yeah.
Some cool bird's eyes in that crotch.
yeah,
Yeah.
there's a
More birds.
what I liked about it.
Mhm.
There's a little bit of everything in it.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Feather and bird's eyes. It's cool.
Everything you showed tonight was just gorgeous.
Little spalting,
You've been busy.
and then
Yeah. Yes.
I had been doing some resin.
Oh, that's nice. That's
So I emptied them all into pill bottles, and I'm going to make medallions, and I'm going to make rings out of these. Cut them into blanks.
Cool.
So when I get going on that, I'll just knock them all out.
Yep.
It's a great use of pill bottles, Dan. I've got a friggin' postal box full of empty pill bottles in my
Yep.
shop right now.
Yeah,
That's what I do.
Thank you.
That's what I do with my excess resins. Put them in, dump it into the pill bottle.
well, I've been
Multiple
laying
colors.
them on their sides like this, and that way you get when you cut this off, you get the design going this
Yeah.
way. So when you do a ring or something like that, it's got a bunch of different colors.
Yep.
So yeah, I'm still
Good thing.
experimenting. See, I got
There you go.
all
Just
different
like one
sizes.
of my bottles.
All different sizes. But this one is bowl is kind of different because it's got this red spot in the bottom, and I don't
Oh,
know where
yeah.
it come from. And
Looks like part of a branch.
yeah,
Yeah.
and
It's nature's handiwork. Whatever it is beautiful.
yeah, it was. You never didn't see it until you got down in there, and it's got a hole on both sides where if I'd have went any further, I'd have been through. It's very thin. But I don't know. It looked very pretty to me. So
Oh, heck
Yeah.
my
Yeah,
wife,
nice work.
my
I
wife,
don't think I did.
my wife claimed it for her pill. Put her pills in the morning.
There you go.
It looks like a very small gazunder.
Yep. My pills for in the morning wouldn't even fit in that bowl.
You'll have to make a bigger one for you.
He does. He's got that crotch.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
But that's all I have.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Dan. A lot of nice work there. Good work.
Great job.
Yeah.
Yep. Thank
Very
you.
nice.
Yep. Next up is Chaim.
Okay, I'm good.
Yep. What you got?
I have the cake stand.
Oh,
Oh,
Very nice.
I drilled those in a press drill first before I create those inside. So I divide it, drill in, make full ring, cut it in half, and get this little round stick in there. And this is walnut and maple.
Very
that's
nice.
beautiful.
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 That's one,
Yeah,
Great,
that's
great idea.
right? And the second one, a little bit crazy. It's
Ah,
walnut,
Oh, wow.
that.
rosewood.
That's cool.
yep.
I like that one.
Oh, they're both beautiful.
Yeah, those are
That's-
both beautiful
Put the
pieces.
rings
Chaim.
all
that's
day down,
nice.
so we no collapse on me. It's like look one in here with the patsy, this one tonight, and all. That's all what I have.
Nice.
Great,
Definitely needs
what
to
a
go
great
in the
concept.
newsletter.
Very good. Very nice.
Well done.
That's it.
Definitely
Done,
needs to
sir.
go in the newsletter.
Beautiful.
Thanks, Chaim. Yep. Next up, we have Paul Hannaby. What you got, Paul?
Oh,
Hey, Paul.
How's it going? Something a bit different.
First time I've ever made these. I'm told it's
What are
called
they?
it's a coma, Koma. And the needle crafters use them to wind thread on. And the idea with these is you wind your thread on it on the center section there, and you turn them square on the ends, so they don't roll off the table.
Oh.
So somebody asked me to make half a dozen or so, so I've got a few here of those, but they're all the same as this
Cool.
one. Yeah,
What
the idea is
dimensions are they?
I'm sorry, I didn't understand. What are they used for again?
for needlework. You
Okay.
put thread on the center there. There's a bobbin basically for needlework, but rather than it being a normal bobbin, square one, so it doesn't roll. So you can have them on your table or wherever you're working, and they don't roll away.
What are the
Very nice.
dimensions, Paul?
So, but I mean, I turn these as a string of them and then sort them up. It was just easier that way. Turn them between centers and then cut them up, and then sort of finish sanded. So a bit of sort of turning on the lathe, just a simple cove really, and the rest of it you do saw and a bit of sanding. I've sanded the ends on a belt sander after I've cut them. So and then buffed them with a buffing wheel. So, but yeah, so I mean, I've never been asked to make them before. Someone asked me a while ago and said, "Could I make some?" I said, "Send me a picture and dimensions, and I'll do it." But these are, if anyone wants to make them, they're 2 inches long and an inch, so inch square. So you want an inch square spindle, and then 2 inch lengths for each one. But I mean, the measurements aren't critical, as it's just for winding thread on. It's well, anything round about that size is probably going to work, isn't it? So, I mean, I just went the size that I was told, but yeah, you can make them any size you want, really.
Very nice.
Okay.
Yeah, really nice.
All right. Thanks,
So
Paul.
for those of you that have got family and friends that are needle workers and needle crafters, then there's an idea for you.
Great idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next up is Joaquin. What you got, Joaquin?
Oh,
Hey,
hello.
JJ.
Well, you caught me at the lathe. I'm finishing this little wand up right now, Purple Heart and East India Rosewood.
Nice.
That's
Nice.
for a medieval
Nice piece of wood.
themed event I'm about to do. And I turned this little guy yesterday. This is a piece of hickory, and it had a little crack in it. I just filled with sanding dust and CA, and just a nice, fun little piece. I'm just working on demonstrating grain matching because I'm doing that for the Piedmont Triad area wood turners in 2 weeks. So I don't know if I'll do this shape, but I like this shape. It's fun. It's just a fun shape. It's a warm shape. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, it looks
Cool.
nice.
I just like it.
Nice.
It's if I stole the idea. So this is a cross between Richard Raffin's tower boxes and a Indian Tajin ceramic pot that has a lid that comes up like this. And I kind of crossed the two shapes and came up with this kind of fun.
Yeah, you melted it good.
Works nice.
It's just it's a fun shape.
Yeah, those cross shapes like that can sometimes be very, very, very cool. So nicely done.
And this has
And
a suction fit, not a friction fit. That's vacuum. So it's a cross. It's in between wood turner and customer fit.
Right.
So where does
that's
piston fit in on that hierarchy?
So I use that for my can holders. I turn those
There you
to a
go.
piston fit. And the good ones, the ones where I really hit, you put a full can in and it very slowly lowers.
Yeah, right.
And then the other thing I've been doing is just I've got this big tub, this big plastic tub that pork rinds came in. Well, what do you do with something like that? It'll hold about 150 or
For the
200
tops.
tops. So my warm up every day is to turn a couple of tops. And Mark Soleil gave me about 5 boxes or 6 boxes of bottle stopper blanks. And then he said, well, what are you going to do with it if you're not making bottle stoppers?
There you
This works. This works really well. Each
Yeah.
one makes a top. So,
Good deal.
yeah, so that's what I've got.
Very cool. Thanks, Joaquin.
Very
May
nice,
your
Joaquin.
demo go smoothly.
Oh, thank you. Everything will go wrong. It's a demo.
Remember, JJ,
That's
just
why we
use
hit
the word just use the word demoitis and you'll be good.
Right? Yeah.
Yep. That's why we have a word for that. Yep.
Yep.
Very cool. All right, next up is Doug. What you got, Doug?
Hey, how you doing? Good stuff already. I came in a couple minutes late and I'm already seeing great stuff. Love that bobbin idea and the JJ's box. I saw that on Facebook. That's phenomenal. Really like it. Did this yesterday. Had some fun with it. Just a nice shape. I still don't know what kind of wood this is other than it's spalted. It's got this funny little groove in the side of it, intentional. But anyway, just a nice little yarn bowl. It's about 7.5 inches wide, about 4 inches tall. Still have the tenon to take off, but it's just about done. I'm about ready with it. So, but that's what I've done this entire week is one bowl.
Beautiful though.
Well, thank you.
Wrong with that.
Very nice.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
It's one more than I've done.
I understand.
Yeah, me too.
Well, that's
Looks good.
pretty wood.
Yeah, it's got some great spalting in it. I just wish I knew what it was. It's I've got a bunch more of it. It's stored outside, unfortunately, and it's starting to go, just starting to turn.
Could it be cherry? The color almost looks like cherry.
No.
Okay.
No, it's
Okay.
not cherry. It's
That's
I
hard
know
to
a
tell,
few
I
things
guess.
it's not. Somebody yesterday said beech, suggested it could be beech. I wish it was beech. I don't have a stick of beech. I've had one piece of beech. It wasn't even this big. I think I got a 4-inch bowl out of it. And that's years and years and years ago. Um, I just don't know what it is. When I picked it up outside, the bark just fell off of it. This has a couple of wormholes in it, is why those dark spots there. That's been filled, and I've got a couple over here by the J hook, right in there. Man, that light is bleaching out tonight. Anyway, a couple of wormholes,
Well,
and there's some punkiness, but a lot. The spalting is just beautiful in it. I hope some of the rest of it is that nice. But anyway, that's what I've got.
Yep. Well, that's
Fog.
beautiful.
Thank you.
Nicely done.
Lovely shape, Doug.
Thank you.
All right. Well, next up is James. What you got, James?
I got a little plate made for a craft show. The crosses I did not make. I can't handle making little crosses. But it's 8.5 inches by 1.5 inches, black walnut. And that's it in my shop for a couple of years.
That's nice, James.
Thanks. And I thought I might take it to church and I can pass my own plate around.
Let us know if that works.
Let us know how that works.
Try to make shop money somewhere.
Right.
Yep.
So that's all I've got, guys.
Yeah.
Very
Looks
nice.
great. I saw it on the
That's
Facebook.
great.
It's really good.
Thank
Well,
you.
How'd you do
need-
on How'd you do on your show the other day?
I moved 20 pieces,
Outstanding.
and we did cover the fee to get in. They had me at a great spot. My booth was right there at the front door, so everybody that walked in saw me first.
Cool.
Nice.
And I got a lot of ladies that really liked it. I've got another one coming up in April.
Well, you know what they say, location, location, location.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Very cool.
good.
Nicely
Thank
done.
you, sir. Thank you.
All right. Next up is Terry. What you got,
Yeah.
Terry?
Oh, little couple pieces I'm working on. A couple weeks ago, I showed you this bowl that I played with and fine and told you I didn't think I was ever going to finish it. I decided I would. Then I decided if I threw it on the floor, I could see how easy it would break. So that worked out pretty good. I picked it up. And it didn't feel real nice. So I said, well, maybe I can buff it. The buffing wheel caught it and jerked it out of my hand, which has happened a couple hundred times. The one thing I wanted to talk about was I went ahead and made the lid for it. When I showed it to you a couple weeks ago, I just said, I just found the finial laying on a workbench. And I thought about it afterward, and I didn't elaborate on that. And for anybody that hasn't been with us for a long time, this finial is a ribbon finial that was demonstrated by Matt Harbor back a couple of years ago, and I'm sure the video is in our archives if anybody wanted to see how it was made and anything. But I wanted to make sure that I attributed that to him. I just made a bunch
Thank
of
you, Terry.
them.
Thank you, Terry. I'm delighted that everybody has tried that. So it's very cool. Nice piece.
And then I got to thinking, which is never, ever a good idea. We had a learning turn coming up last Saturday at our club. And every year we try to make some eggs to give to the children's hospital for the kids to paint. And nobody really likes to do it anymore. It's kind of boring, but it is good skill building. And we had learning turn coming up. So I said, well, I'll just make a bunch of blanks and take it to the learning turn. And everybody can help and we can make some eggs. Sounds like a good plan to me.
There you
So
go.
I make like 30 blanks, get them all done, get them all ready to go, and gather the tools, sharpen them all up. Joaquin calls me up and tells me the learning turn's canceled. So here I am. So I says, all right, now I got to turn them. That's part of the batch. That's about half of it.
Oh, nice.
And I turned them, and I got down pretty good. I can make one in about 3 minutes. But I use a story stick, a storyboard, and a 4-inch blank, and just set it up there and make 4 marks in it and turn it. It don't take long. And then I just spray them with some lacquer so that the paint won't run when the kids do it. And then, still was being crazy enough, and I thought with that old pine board, I'd make another one of these. So this one's not broken yet, but I'm working on it. And I haven't made a lid for it. I ran out of wood to make the lid for them. And I don't know whether I'll go back to the dumpster and see if I can find some more wood, or I might go back to the dumpster and put all these in there.
You'll have to make another spiral ribbon finial for it.
Oh, I got a bunch of them laying on the bench. And this one's a bigger one that I made.
Oh, wow.
And I don't.
Those are sure pretty.
Those
are sure pretty, Terry.
Yeah, they are pretty.
You can really. Somebody was talking about the finish a while ago, and the tongue oil has the auburn finish to it. These are both pine. The one on the top, the big one, has got gloss lacquer on it, and the bottom one has got the tongue oil on it. And it may have been a different kind of pine, but I'm thinking the tongue oil colored it a lot. You can see the big difference in them.
Right.
Yep.
And then I had one more I decided I would try. And where'd it go? Oh, it's over here. And I broke the cardinal rule of wood turning. I made the inside bigger than the outside.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
And so I threw it in the trash bucket. I looked at it and got it out. Said, "Oh, that might make a good wall hanger." So I finished.
It would make a good wall hanger.
Yeah, it would. Yeah.
My wife
Yeah,
said
it's
like a moon. I think I'm going to hang it on
Little
the
crescent moon
There
there.
you go. It's artistic.
Yeah.
It's a moon.
Yeah, it looks cool.
Yeah. It's a feature now.
It's like a new moon.
You can tell people
Yeah.
you did that on purpose.
Yeah. One more quick
It was a
thing to
design
show.
feature.
This is where I started on those.
Okay.
I glued the blocks, there's 2x4s made it enough. First, I made the diamond, the triangle, and then I glued them on there and then took them to bandsaw and cut it out. And that's where I made it. All you got here is 120 degrees. Make sure you got it centered. And that's where it starts from. It makes it so much easier to turn than try to turn it in the air.
What glue did you use, Terry?
Huh?
What glue did you use? What glue did you use?
The wrong kind, it came apart. I was being cheap and I tried to use something I've had for a while. Then I had to go to the Quick and Fast or Quick and Tight or something.
Quick and Thick.
Quick and Thick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Tight Bun Quick and Thick.
Yeah, but then it worked okay. But I just glued them together. I didn't. They held one. One did come apart, but it was as I was getting down near the end of it, and I was being a good word turner and standing out of the line of fire. So no harm, no foul. But that's a good place to start with. And that's pretty much all I got, guys.
All right, thanks, Terry. Nice work.
At least I got back in the shop.
Yep.
Yep.
Good job.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yep. Next up is Norm. What you got, Norm?
You're muted.
Not anymore.
Is it working now?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
I got to turn this.
Oh, wow.
It's 15 1/4 by 3.
Yeah, tiny little piece.
And then I had to use a mortise. I believe you call it a mortise. And so I filled it with walnut.
Cool.
Cool.
Yeah, that's nice.
And then I also turned a piece of cherry, just a little bowl.
Nice.
Very nice.
I'm learning.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Looks
there
great.
you are.
You're doing a great job.
Good.
Doing great.
It's
Nice
very,
shapes.
very addicting.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
I can't wait to get back out there again.
Nice shapes, decorative grooves. I mean, great job, Norm.
Thank you.
Yeah. Picking it up well. Turning is really relating with you. So good job.
It's fun.
It is fun.
It is.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me join.
Oh, you
Our
bet,
pleasure.
Norman. Glad to have you.
Yep. Glad to.
Next up is Birdhouse Bob. What you got, Bob?
Birdhouse Bob in the
Hey, how you
house.
doing?
Yay.
Hello, Bob.
Good seeing you, Bob.
Time no see, buddy.
Everybody.
See,
Hey, Bob.
I took a class under Dennis Fuge and out of Pennsylvania, and this is a piece that we did.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Wow. Look at that.
Wow.
Striking.
Beautiful.
Absolutely
Talk to us
gorgeous.
about it.
Wow.
This is
Talk to us.
this is black gesso. This is eggshell, and then putty dyed with the color, and then this is copper overlay. But
Nice.
Wow.
Like copper
you just
leaf.
sand the
Really
eggshells off, or you
colors,
turning
the
it?
colors don't show up. This is a red color, but it doesn't show up on the computer. At least it doesn't show up on mine.
Yeah, we're seeing
Did
purple.
you use real eggshell?
Yeah. You take the eggshell and you peel the membrane off the inside of it,
Yeah.
and then crush it and then glue it in, and then put the putty on top of it, and then sand through the putty into the eggshell.
My goodness, that
Oh,
sounds
wow.
like a demo.
That's cool.
I don't think so. This is a couple day process.
Yeah, it is.
A long demo.
Maybe you can just show us how to crack the egg.
That's really cool, Bob.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yes.
Pretty
Yeah,
good.
it looks great.
Super
Good
work.
seeing you, Bob.
Good to see you back.
Well, thank you.
Definitely.
Good to be
Nice
back.
seeing you, Bob.
You're looking good.
Yeah, he does.
That's all I've
Very
got.
nice, Bob. Very
Thank-
nice, Bob. Thank you. Yeah. Next up is Mark Soleil.
Oh, okay. Well, what I have here tonight, let me turn the camera around. It's just a little, let me hold it in my hand here. Just a little form. Maybe you can, I don't know if you can see
Yeah, we
that.
see it.
Yeah,
Pull it away from you. Yeah.
There you go.
Out there.
There you
There
go.
you go.
That's good.
Okay, I'm trying to get the finial so you can see the finial.
Oh, we can see it. We can see
Oh,
it.
yeah, that finial's smaller than a toothpick.
Yeah.
Okay.
Beautiful shape and form.
Beautiful shape. Love the
Very nice, Mark.
Well, this is part of my therapy project, getting back from the stroke. I've been doing all these little tiny things and I'm getting better at it. And I had to learn, a couple new ways to use my tools. But so I'm no longer using my hands. I'm just, to keep my tremors down, I'm doing everything with my hips. So it works, big or small.
Yep, it does. Very cool. It's beautiful work.
Yes, it is.
And there's the finish on it is one coat of the Parfix 3408, then buffed out. And the only thing that I put on the Gaboon Ebony, the foot and the finial, is the EEE Ultra Shine in that little white jar.
Mhm.
That's it.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Yeah, great job, Mark.
Are you hollowing those at all, Mark?
I'm making little boxes also. This one is not a box. This is just, but I am making the little boxes and then hollowing them out.
Good job.
Very cool.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark.
Yep. All right. Well, next up is Stephen. What you got, Stephen? It's you, Steve. There we go.
There we go. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Yes, we got you.
Hi, everybody. Good to see you, Birdhouse Bob and Mark Slay. Good seeing you also.
Well, thank you.
I turned a little oak plate. Did a little
Nice.
little embellishing on the bottom.
Very good.
Looks good.
That's oak.
What kind of finish you got?
It's all OB Shine Juice.
Oh, okay.
Very
Yeah, it
nice.
looks great.
OB Shine Juice and Axe polish base. And then I did a little it's a cherry bowl. I guess there's too much reflection there.
There you go.
That's nice.
That's pretty.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Little live edge.
I like that I like that natural edge.
Yep.
And again, I did a little embellishing on the bottom.
Yeah, you've
I like
gotten
the-
real good with the sorby tool there. Looks
Yes.
Good.
Yeah,
I haven't.
I'm trying to learn how to do it. It's got a learning curve to it. So then I
Yes, it does.
I wanted to make a couple platters, and I had some curly maple.
Look at that.
And this
Nice.
Oh,
this
wow.
5/4 board I glued together. It's kind of hard to see, but it's got really
No, you can see it. It's pretty.
nice twines
Yeah.
to it.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's gorgeous.
You just gave me an idea what to do with a log of curly maple I've got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's a beautiful wood.
It's segmented.
No, it's not segmented.
Actually laminated.
Laminated. It's got 1, 2, 3
Right.
boards together. I got a little bead here. I did with a D-Way tool, and then
Right.
I actually the back looks pretty too.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, most definitely. Yep.
And I got some
embellish.
Serby tool on the back with a little kind of little
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
burst or something in the middle there.
Nice.
That was pretty cool.
Little flower.
So this is
Yeah, it
about
looks
an inch
good.
thick. So I bought this Powermatic 3520 lathe. You know, I got
Right.
big. I've not turned anything big. So I was making platters. So I had this big slab.
Attaboy.
Oh, wow.
Nice.
Nice.
That's
That is nice.
It's a lot chunkier than I wanted it to be, but I got a little nervous about something that big spinning with the vibration out, so it's a little thick. It's about an inch thick right here, and then down here it's probably about 3/4 of an inch thick.
What's the diameter?
It's 19 1/4 inches.
Oh,
Wow.
There you go. There you
Wow.
go.
Yeah, that's a nice centerpiece.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
Very nice.
very nice.
more
Great job.
more Sorby tool. A lot of beads.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Great
Yeah,
job.
you're doing a
Stephen.
good job framing it with the beads. It looks great.
My wife likes it,
Really
but
looks
there's no
great.
place to put it in the house.
Yeah.
Dinner table.
On top of the cabinets. That's where all of ours go.
Yeah.
Hey,
No, that's too pretty for that. It needs to be centerpiece on the table.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I'm
There,
saying.
there you go. There you
Maybe,
go.
Sitting on top of doily.
maybe you guys can help me out a little bit as far as how do you get this so there's no you see there's a divot, you can see right there.
Yeah.
That
Keep it
divot,
nice and
I worked on that for a couple hours today, just trying to get
Yeah.
that, a smooth
There's
curve.
there's a couple of ways to do it. One of my favorite things I learned was from Don Derry, and he said, all I'm doing is removing the high spots. And I take that to heart. Now, I have taken those dimples out with both a square edge scraper and with a big skew using it like a scraper.
right.
So basically what you do is you just kind of, there's a rise between the absolute center and where the edge of your curve starts back up to the walls, right? So that bit between that part where your fingers are and the center, that's what you got to take down. Okay,
Right.
so like right where that
Right.
sort of mark is, like right there is
Right
where
in
you got to
there.
take it down. Yeah. So
Yeah,
all
And
you
you-
basically
I worked on that. I just could not get it to
Yeah.
come
It
out so
takes a
that
little. You just got to keep trying a little bit at a time, just a
Little at a
tiny
time.
little bit.
Yep, you just basically you gradually reduce that contour until it's where you want it to be.
because it's
You'll get
not
the hang of it.
flat. It's not flat on the bottom. It's got a little bit of a curve.
Well, it's
all the
Yep,
way.
yeah, we can see it in the right light. Yep, and we've
So-
all been there. We've all
So
been there.
is
So
there some kind of jig or tool or
No.
I can't do it freehand really, but I've got a couple of tips for you.
sure.
First one, the way to take out is not to put it there in the first place.
Good
That's a
point.
good one, Paul.
There you go.
When you've got to the point where you've got the odd little ripple or off that you're trying to remove, half the problem there is you're trying to take small cuts and blend it all.
Right.
And when you start the cut, you put in another groove as big as the one you're taking out, probably. So the way I attack things like that is you come back farther than you need to, and you feather the cut in from nothing.
Right.
You make a very shallow pass to feather that cut in. So where you feather the cut in, you're not making another ridge. If you see what I
Right.
mean.
Yeah. I
So
had it. It was
you-
really
you
undulating.
might take
before.
multiple cuts to do
I
it.
finally
But
got it smooth, but I still have this little dip right in the middle here.
yeah,
I mean, I noticed
Yeah.
it in the right light. Anybody can see it.
Can I give a suggestion?
Yes, sir.
Sure,
Yes,
Mark.
Mark.
Okay, when you get it down real close, just take a little square piece of wood, like a 1.5 by 1.5 block, right?
Right.
That's about 8 inches long or so, and just wrap you some sandpaper around it and apply the block. It will take the high spots off until it gets flat.
Yep.
Oh, very good. Yeah. Good. Thank you,
All right, cool. All right, well, thanks, Steve.
everybody.
All right, so next up is John. John, what you got?
Muted, John.
You're muted, John.
There we go.
Yep.
Better.
Get that out of the way. I've got a couple of pieces of red oak that I've shown you some of this before. That was the oak as it was split for firewood. I sawed it off, and this is what it looks like when it's finished. That's beeswax and linseed oil. And then I turned this little piece out of it, made a little bowl.
Nice.
Very nice.
Pretty.
And I was very interested in this grain that it had in it.
Right.
Wow. Yeah.
That's cool.
And after that, I turned a cup, and I thought I was doing end grain work, but I wasn't. And you can see that, I don't know, I just had a piece of wood, and you can see the rings around here, and I've sliced every one of them. And on the bottom of it, it's got this, you can see these fibers that run through the wood.
Right.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah.
Very, very interesting. And then I turned a bigger piece. This one has some nice figure.
Right.
It cracked on me here, and I put a little piece in there to keep it from going any further, which worked nicely. I've used that a lot of times on my work, and you can see the figure on this side. Now, it was not a piece of burl or anything of that sort. This is red oak, and it has wide grain and all of that, but this was a very unusual piece. And the last piece I turned is not of that. It is of red oak, but it is not of that form, and it's just a vase that, again, it has some nice figure to it.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Yep. Nice work. Nice work.
And that's it.
Thank you,
Good
John.
stuff, John.
Yep. Next up is Brent.
Got you
You're
muted,
muted.
Brent.
Hey, how you doing? So I got a piece that's in progress. It isn't finished, but I figured. So here is a
Ooh.
that is
Oh,
it's just a hollow form that I made. This is for a metal leaf project that I'm working on. That's kind of detailed. That's required me to step outside my comfort zone. I'm doing some Photoshop work and some different stenciling work. I'm not very good with Photoshop yet, so I have to learn that to do the Photoshop for the metal work and such. But
that's a beautiful piece of black acrylic.
well,
Sure, that's not glass.
it's actually ash, and so I had to be, and with the metal leaf, I need a very, very smooth surface. So I did a lot of work of grain filling on this thing.
That is
I
gorgeous.
A lot of grain filling, and then a lot of coats of lacquer on this, and then I'll do the metal work on this, the metal leaf, and then it'll get a whole bunch of clear coats of lacquer and such. But so I just thought I'd show you a piece in progress for an upcoming piece I'll be showing you later. So
Wow, it's
Beautiful.
gorgeous, just the way it is.
well,
Yeah,
thank
it
you.
is.
Yep.
So,
All right.
Beautiful.
If there's any help I can offer on Photoshop and stencil work, I've done quite a bit of it.
well, that's
So
like,
please ask.
okay. You know, Photoshop Elements. It's Elements I'm working with, but not
I
directly.
don't know elements, but maybe I can help anyway. But all right, yeah, we can take it offline. But nice work.
Thanks.
Very cool. Thanks, Brent.
Yep.
All right, so we're almost to the top of the hour. So let's. I'm going to switch back to Captain Eddie and get his thoughts on what he's seen so far tonight, and then from there we'll do our safety moment, and then we'll get on to our featured demonstration for the evening. Captain Eddie, I got you now. You're muted, Cap. You're muted, Captain.
Is what I've seen. The joy is welcome to see Bob back, Birdhouse Bob back.
Mhm.
And a lot of the other old members are coming around tonight.
Thank you.
Good to have you folks with us because we're really going down a good road. You see some of that work you've seen tonight, and I'm just what Brent showed us. Yeah, that's a tease, Brent. That really is a tease. I mean, what we're looking at right there. We're sitting there looking at a piece, and you gotta think, okay, what is he going to do to that now? And you're going to find that out right here on Worldwide Woodturners. The only place you can go to find it. that we're really rocking and rolling. And y'all all know we're not going to harp on it, but Level Up is coming up September 2026. We got a lot of things working. We're going to give you the date when we'll start accepting registrations, and that's tied to the money. And I hate to do that. I hate to say anything in this club is tied to money, but we don't have any. So we have to tie it to money that we're coming in. We can't spend it before we have it. We don't want to spend it poorly. So it's all tied. We'll do that. We'll announce what happens. And it doesn't matter when it happens. Think about all the other symposiums and places you go to. You have to wait in line before you can go register. Well, you're waiting in line to go register for this one. And we'll give you all the details. And every time something changes, you wonder what changes. And somebody said yesterday, isn't there a place they can go click one button and get all the details? Ha, yeah, there is. We call it the world's greatest website on wood turning, worldwidewoodturners.org. Right there in the header band on the right-hand side at the top, it's got Level Up. You press that button and you go to the Level Up page. All the details. That's right. We'll let Dave get a nap. That's it. Dave wrote, he's there working on that thing, keeping that thing updated time at the time. So everything you need to know is right there. Everything you're looking for, right there. All the questions you have, right there. All the answers we got at this time, right there. So hey, what else can we do? And today the new with the newsletter came on. If you missed it, don't miss it long. It's available on our website. Also on our Facebook pages, but it's missing something. Yes, I want to bring this up. JJ's a little sensitive button is saying that he's missing something. But JJ didn't get all the art that he should have received for the last edition. He really didn't. Because there's some great work that you folks do out there, and he doesn't get those pictures. Got to take the pictures and send them to him. It's just that simple. And oh yeah, by the way, don't really need just to have or just don't want the photograph for the finished piece. We'd like to see the progress. Come on, show me the jigs and rigs. Some of the stuff we saw in fact, in this week's edition, or the editions out today, is a steady device. You know, I had one of those, and I'm thinking, boy, I clean forgot about that. That was, to keep the wobble out, especially when you do a big platter like somebody had on just a few minutes ago. I can't do names. I can't remember names. I gotta be looking at them.
The big platter Stephen had.
Yeah, to do the big platter, you're worried about the movement and all. That steady that is in our newsletter, look at it, think about it, and then tweak it a little bit. Yeah, that's right. All he did was throw some thoughts out to you so you can modify it and make it work for you, because they're going to save you some grief. I used to hate when I turned big platters, and I love turning big platters, but I hated the idea of it coming off and losing the wood. I wasn't worried about what would happen to me or anything else around me. I wouldn't want to lose a big piece of wood like that. You got to have your values. So, but an idea like that will help you. And the same thing as if you're doing a reverse chuck for a bull or a dead man or whatever. And we all have names for them and how we hold them back and jam them off. If you've got something that's rather unique, we want to see it and we want to share it. That's what the whole deal is about. Sharing wood turning. So if you've got something to share, we have the source. The weekly meetings attended by over 100 members live each week. Then we have a newsletter every other week that's fantastic, as we highlight some special events and some special people coming up in the near future. So watch for it. And then we happen to have found the world's greatest webmaster, and he keeps this website going, clicking time at the time. And if you need to know about it, it's free, and it's for our membership, which is also free. So you see what I was dreading in the beginning, that dollar being on a table and affecting things? We threw the dollar away. We put our friendship online, and that's what we believe in. When we get together tonight, you heard the jokes and the kidding and the going on, and the names and all the, well, hey, Bobby, you know what? That's a bunch of guys sitting on the tailgate in the parking lot. And that's what we do every Wednesday night. We sit in the tailgate in the parking lot, and everything's fair. Rules apply, same as when you went to kindergarten. You come in, you be nice, and you go home with a smile. That's the only rules we have. And I think it's working, folks. I really do. Look forward to y'all being involved. We've got a good demonstration lined up for you tonight, and then a little more gallery and tips and tricks and endings and other things. But remember, everything we do this evening is dealing with wood turning and wood turning friends. So if you got something special popping up, let us know about it. If you got a question, I mean, just now, I've never had a question, and 3 paid demonstrators, professional demonstrators, 3 of them, jumped in and gave him solutions. Where are you going to get that at? Huh? Right.
Only here, no place
Right
else.
Right here. And you guess what? It costs you nothing more than a little bit out of your heart saying, I'm going to be involved. So get involved. That's it. Who's up on the deck now?
All right. Well, let's go to Safety Sue and get our safety moment on. Sue, we got you now.
How are you? I see everybody was sharing their temperatures again. But and it was great to see Birdhouse Bob, and welcome to the new people that this is their first meeting. So I had a wonderful conversation with Tom Kenny this week. He called me to let me know what was going on at the Florida Symposium. He really wanted me to get there, but since I don't drive, Uber would be too expensive. So anyways, he did tell me about this one class. And you know, at the symposiums, they use a room for one class and everybody's in there that's watching. And then when the next class comes in, those people leave and you have a new instructor and new people. So he went into this class. The previous demonstrator was working on a lovely piece and he was bebopping at 3,000 RPMs. The next guy came in and he is a professional wood turner. Bear in mind that there was no safety acrylic between the lathe and the audience. In the back, there was a monitor, or you want to say a TV, but a monitor that was sitting on a chair so that he could see what the people were seeing, meaning the demonstrator. As he was ready to turn, he stepped to the side of the lathe. Evidently, it was the wrong side. And then, now remember the previous turner, he turned on the lathe. Tom said it was like the lathe was hovering over the floor, which would be scary enough. And finally, that piece came out, flew over the audience, and hit the monitor. Of course, the turner immediately shut off the lathe. So what did he do wrong? He didn't check. And I'm always saying, check your speed before you start the lathe. But also, check where your belts are, where you're turning a large piece that needed torque the previous day. And are you doing some spindle work now and you need it, or is it vice versa? So besides turning your lathe to the lowest possible speed, or if you can stop it, do that before you start a project. But also check your belts, folks. That could have been a disaster at the Florida wood turning. Thank heavens no one was hurt. Just the monitor with a hole in it. So folks, be safe this week. Make sure you check your lathe before you start a new project on that lathe. And you should always start it in the stop or lowest speed position and work your way up. So be safe this week. And thank Tom Kenny for bringing that to my attention. All I can say is wow. So take care, folks, and I'll see you safely next week. Thank you.
All right.
Yes,
Very
sir.
good. Thanks,
Sue.
Sue.
Thanks, Sue.
All right. So with that, we are going to move on to our featured demonstration tonight. we have Mr. Al Dawson that's going to be performing and entertaining us for the evening. Al's got a great project lined up. So a little bit of housekeeping. This is Al's demo. Al's going to turn it the way Al turns, and we'll keep questions, comments till the end of the demonstration. If there's questions that folks do want to ask, you can put it in the chat. I will be monitoring the chat. And at the opportune times, when Al's doing a tool changeover or repositioning the tool rest, I will ask him the said questions. Otherwise, we will catch all the questions up at the end of the demonstration. So with that, I am going to mute everybody. So Al, you will need to unmute yourself. So I'm muting everybody now. And unmute yourself, Al. I got you.
How's everyone? How's everyone? I'm sitting here. I'm scared to death. The first time I've ever done anything like this. I think I've wore a path in my concrete floor here, walking around the past
You'll be fine.
Everything I saw tonight, just beautiful stuff. Beautiful. I'll tell you. I just wasn't myself talking because I'm a little bit nervous here. Anyway, tonight I've got a piece 6" by 6" by 3". I'm pretty sure it's Siberian elm. And what I did, can you see? I found center. I found center, and here, like I said, 6 inches. So I found center. I went to center. I went to center. I went to center. I went to center. And here, what I did was I took it over to my table saw, and I cut. Not quite halfway. Can you see?
Yes, we can see it.
Not quite halfway. So what I have right now is I have this cut here on the bottom. This is going to be the bottom. And right now I'm going to put it in centers. I'll move the camera in a second.
Okay. He's putting it between centers right now.
I'm sorry.
There you go.
Now,
right there.
How's that look?
Yeah. Back it up just a little bit. That'll work right there. That's good, Al.
You sure?
Perfect. Yes.
You want to get closer?
No, it's perfect.
Okay. All right. That's good. Okay. If that's good,
Yes.
That's good. Okay.
We don't want the wood chips hitting us.
What's that?
We don't want the wood chips hitting us.
This is going to be a little bit different. We're going to worry about wood hitting us instead of wood chips tonight. This is going to be a nice project. I'm sorry. It's called an Octapod. This here was one of my good friend, and he's my mentor, Dave Robinson, from down in Leesburg, Virginia. He's my mentor, and this was one of his signature pieces. And you're going to get a kick out of it. It's a nice little piece, and we'll see what happens. I put my
good, Al.
face mask on, my dust. I'm not going to be talking a lot. Like I said, I'm not going to be doing any sanding tonight because I can't turn the dust collector on because it is loud. So, anyways, I'll be having this on and my face shield, and we'll get going. Can you see it?
Yes, sir. Looks good.
Okay. All right, let's see what we got here. You get a little comfortable with that right now. Is that okay there?
Yeah, it's good.
I think I probably about as cloud as I need it. I'll mark off a tenant.
What he's doing is marking his tenon
So
size now. He's cut his
can you
tenon.
see it? Okay. I could move closer. I could. Okay,
No,
let's see
no,
what
no.
happens.
The camera is perfect. But when you're talking, speak up.
Okay, you can't hear me, can you?
Well, you're muffled, but you're doing
Yeah.
okay now.
Okay, what I'm trying to do right now is I'm trying to make these four corners. Can you hear me? I'm trying to make
Yes.
these four corners my feet. Well, it's going to be these this four corner, this one. That's going to be my feet. So we can only go so far. Well, you'll see it a little bit. You'll see it a little bit. We'll try. We'll try to come up a little bit more.
I'll take this off for a minute. It'll make more sense. It'll make more sense once I continue more of what's going to happen. Right now, these here, 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 and here are going to be my feet. So I'm going to just square this off a little bit more, and I'm going to leave the tenon alone, and then we're going to start this here, and this is where the fun begins.
Let me put all this back on again.
That lines up right. Can you see me here now?
No, we're not able to see your. If you can pull your camera around so we can see a little bit closer. Oh
Well,
yeah, a little bit up higher. There we go. That'll work. That'll work.
here's where I want you to concentrate on is right here.
Right.
Can you see that?
That's a good view.
Okay. Okay, here's where the fun begins.
Here comes the fun. Watch the corners, folks. So what he's doing is he's cutting to those score lines, and eventually, once he reaches that point, they're gonna pop off.
I didn't hear what.
Oh, I was explaining what you were doing here. Go ahead.
Dane, you're absolutely right. What's going to happen is when I've cut here, hopefully we get to our cut. And yes, these things are going to do some flying. They're going to do some flying. Just watch. I put chicken wire over the top of my lights right above my head here. Did you hear that?
Yep, you got chicken wire there. It's not to keep the chickens from getting away.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go a little bit more with this. We'll see what happens. It's so weird I'm turning here and there's no noise because it's just weird without having this dust distractor on. The weirdest
No,
thing.
it's all good. You'll be all right.
Be careful, that's We just lost one. I think it went down in my
Yeah.
chute.
Yeah, I saw it fly.
All right, let's see what we got here. We're getting close. I should have probably went down more here. Give that more of a flat. Hmm. I've got a lot of I've got a lot of meat there. Maybe I'm gonna do that. Yeah. Let's see. Maybe a little bit better. Yeah, we'll see. Okay, then we'll concentrate back over here. Okay, we'll try that again. And one more.
Yep.
Okay, there you go. Well, they gave us the bottom. Kind of like the way that's starting to come up like that right here. I kind of like that.
That's a good profile.
I think so too. I'm going to turn it around. I have to take this mask off. I couldn't breathe.
Yeah, you're
Oh, boy.
suffocating.
Yeah, that's what I thought I was gonna do for a while there. I usually don't keep it on that long. Let me take this here center drive off. Get this out of my way.
Why I don't wear one.
What's that?
That's why I don't wear one. Can't breathe as good.
Okay, this is I just got this here extension that convert. It's a G3 uh for eight threads, 1 inch by 8. This here being different, I got this here. I've only used this, I think, one other time. So it's gonna be, we need to see this working. Oh, that's wrong truck key. I'm used to the other truck. See, something's wrong here. Oh, that's gonna be nice. That's on there pretty good. Yeah, this piece of wood's probably been around here 3-4 years. I could hear it nice and it's squeaking and it's hard. All right, I'm going to use the tailstock for a while yet. And we're going to see what we could do here of making a nice little dish. It's an Octapod. It's something you could you know, put your change in, put little jewelry, I guess. But we're going to come in here a little bit now. We'll see what we get out of it. Getting all suited up here again. All right, let's see. Yeah. Is the camera good?
The camera's great, Al.
All right. Blew that point right there. Oh well. . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . . However, a lot of this. So, what we get up, come in here, get more out. Okay. You go a little bit more. Try to take more off right here. Getting rid of this here right now. This okay?
Yeah, it looks fine now. Camera's good. Well, that's about as far as I'm going to go here because I could probably go a little bit more. Yeah, I'll just scrape it.
It's more small thing, but I'm gonna just,
Cleaned up.
I think just stop. Just stop right about there. I could probably take a little bit more out of here. Let's do this. Okay. Cool. I like that. Yeah, I like that a lot. I'm gonna I'm gonna call that it. I'm gonna call that it. I'm staying involved and stuff, but you know what they say about demos. I got this good this far, so I'm gonna call it quits. There'll be a ton of sanding that need to be done on it, but here you go.
Well done, Al.
Got
Al, which direction is the grain running on that?
I I would imagine this way. Here's the bottom.
What she's asking is she's wanting to know if it's side grain or end grain orientation.
Well, this here, I guess that's
Looks like
side grain
end
right
grain.
there, isn't it? That's side grain there. Does that answer it, Ruby?
So it's an end grain piece.
It was doing a lot of chatter, and I got a lot of dust more than any ribbons.
Yes,
But
end grain, Ruby.
Yeah,
yeah.
I think right.
But there's an octopod. You got 4 going one way and 4 going the other way.
Good job, Al. Thanks.
I mean, I should have spent a lot more time, but kind of nervous here. All this could probably went down a lot more, or I could maybe made some waves on it or something, But there's an octopod.
Great demo, Al. Thank you.
Very good.
Thanks. Cool. Well, believe me.
Very good, Al.
Thank you guys very much. Thank you.
Al, you did a good job on that. Does anybody have any questions for Al on the overall process and what he was doing there? Have any questions?
Yeah, Al, one point to make. I'm not picking on your work at all.
No.
I was literally trying to get out of the line of fire as you were cutting that wings off there, man.
Like I said, I put chicken. I put chicken wire here on here on my
One thing
lights.
that might help you on your cuts where you got some of those rough cuts. Turn your tool rest in a little bit so you have better support on your tool.
The whole evening was kind of weird to me because there wasn't any noise,
Right.
and I had the dust mask on my face and stuff, but it was just real weird to do it.
Right.
But I mean, like I said,
Demo nerves.
really simple thing is cut that center to center, while it's still square. And
Yeah, you had me nervous there, man. Great job. Appreciate it though. I learned something new.
they come off. They come off pretty easy, you know. And if once you know it's going to happen, so you know, then you're expecting it. So
It's just a matter of when.
so anyways, I hope everybody has a good night, and thank you very much.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Al.
Thank
And
you, Al.
just like with Al, folks,
Thank
anybody
you,
can
Al.
do a demonstration.
Thank you, guys.
You know, later on here, maybe we can get Al to show his little tripod that he made that held his phone while.
Well,
you
I
know,
could show you that. No, it wasn't actually a
yeah. Let's go
tripod.
ahead and show that. Yeah, show that and talk about it,
What
Al.
wasn't a tripod? This is my light setup that I bought when I bought this lathe, and it's that aluminum, so you could bend it. You could bend it, and I just took one of them and I just taped my car phone holder to it.
Huh.
So I put it on here, put a little wire. Can you guys see all this? Put a little wire there to make sure it wasn't going to fall off. And I was able to, you know, come wherever, you know, Dane said that it looked good or best, you know. So that was it. It was a simple one for me. I was doing all this worrying and figuring out, and here I had it right in front of my face all the time. But
Show us your
anyways,
chicken wire. Show us the walk wire.
I knew it was going to be popping. So yeah, I did it. Anyways,
What's the chicken wire for?
the pieces that were
light
flying
bulbs.
off.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Yeah, I didn't have any control which way they were going to go. You know? But no, hey, I checked to, you know, pay my dues here at the club, and they're so friggin' expensive. Captain said you got to wash the dishes. You have to wash the dishes, so I'll wash some dishes.
Good demo, Al.
Guys, thank you very much. I hope, you know, make one. Look how quick it was. Quick. I mean, there'd be a lot more sanding involved. Doug, I have the same dust collector that you have. Again, it's like 5 feet to my right where I was standing there. It's loud. It's loud. But it's going on 4.5 years now that I've had it. And I have a wind. I have a wind canister instead of you know what I'm talking about, the canister. I bought a wind, and it's a little expensive. All that I do, I clean it up once a year, and so I love it. It's loud, like you mentioned yesterday, and that's why I couldn't do it tonight. It was really weird to, you know, I was like out of my element because the noise wasn't there. You know?
Makes a difference.
It did. It really did. But yeah, it's a quick one. You probably make a couple of dollars on it. It's something different. You know, you guys want to do the selling and stuff. Like I say, you make it look a lot better than what I did tonight so quickly. But it's a nice quick one. So everybody have a good night.
All right, thank you. You did an excellent job. I appreciate that. So once again, you know, so if anybody wants to do a demo, it's very simple to do if you just got a phone. You don't need a fancy camera setup or anything like that. So we're always looking for more demonstrators. It's nice to have somebody new to invite us into their shop and show us what you're doing. You know, it's a new project. We all learn from it. We learn new techniques, new tips, and then it also fosters great information and advice, you know, from the gallery of folks that are on. So with that, once again, I commend Al. You know, it was his first demonstration, and I think he did really good. And look forward to bringing him in, you know, and getting him to do some more. And he's going to get a lot more comfortable in front of the camera and going to be very enjoyable for us. So with that, Matt, what do we got for gallery coming up? Anything?
Yeah, first one we've got is Todd. He said he has something to show. What do you got, Todd? Or Victor? I'm sorry, Victor. Todd. Sorry, Vic.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
They
That's all
sound
right.
a lot alike.
Yeah, that's been a lifelong thing, having two first names. since Tim McCoy, which I think he's still here, asked, I'll go ahead and show some things. I also have the one-way coring system, so I'll show 3 maple bowls out of one blank, starting with the small one. So this is just under 6 inches, like 5 7/8.
Ooh,
Got
nice.
just a little bit of the spalt on that side.
Beautiful.
That's pretty.
And that's the little guy. That's my little brand on the bottom. Next is would be a 9-inch salad bowl size.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
So
Pretty.
And here's the inside.
Spalting
Oh,
is
wow.
crazy. I love it.
Very nice.
And the last one, the big one, is 13 inches by 6.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And it's
Very nice.
Cool.
That's only 6 inches deep.
Yeah, well, let me double check it.
It really looks a lot bigger.
Yeah, it's 6 inches. It
Wow.
looks bigger, yeah.
Yeah.
And the
It
bottom,
does.
I just got a real slight dish on there on the bottom, so it's flat there, and then it's just like a small dish for a foot there, and then we go inside.
Oh,
Cool.
wow.
Wow. Look at that.
And
Yeah, that's gorgeous.
I had this block sitting around longer than I thought. It was already like down to like 8% or less moisture. And the only time it really moved was like right here, had the cracks here. And well, mostly just the cracks here. And when I put the shellac on to stabilize the salt, they went, oh, but then it went the next day and they were back to where they were. So then I got them C8 glued up, and so yeah, so that was the 3 out of 1 there.
Very
Nice.
And I'll let the next person come on in because that's
Beautiful.
Very
Good
nice.
job.
Thank you,
you.
Bob. Thank you,
Very
Vic.
nice. Yep.
Next up is Bob. Oh,
Hey, yeah, hey guys. I saw all those others a while ago, and I thought, well, I'll show this one. This was the second one that I made. A little dish, those little candy dishes, and this one again. This one is out of walnut and then elm. So I have elm here. I haven't finished it yet. I don't have a finish on it, so I just turned
I
it
remember
out.
JJ.
But
Nice.
those are neat little tricks, deals to keep the tips from falling off. You put that other piece of wood around here, 2x4 or whatever. But those
Cool.
are pretty.
Very nice.
Are you and Terry collaborating on them boxes?
Yeah, I guess so.
It's well done.
He done, he was saying that it would stood off the floor. This one here does just a hair. I mean, it's the other one stood off probably a quarter of an inch off the desk, but this one will actually flit a little a little flatter. But I still don't want the tips touching. I don't want them knocking them off. So.
Right. Do you do the same process like what Terry does by attaching?
Oh yeah, that's that same process.
Yeah, I've never made any.
actually did it from what Bob showed us 3 or 4 weeks ago is where I got the idea from.
Yeah, that was on the Facebook page, and then I'd showed y'all. But yeah, it worked out great. Works out good.
What kind of wood was it again?
This is walnut for a bottom, and then elm for the top.
So is that Siberian elm with it being white?
I don't know. I don't think so. It's whatever's local around here. I'm sure it's not Siberian anything. But elm is pretty. Elm has lots of grain in it. The grain will show up more when I get a finish on it. But
right.
But they're all real, a lot of grain in those things.
Yeah, I love the elm grain. It's really pretty. That's a very pretty piece too. Nice job, Bob.
Yeah, thanks.
Great job.
Yeah, Terry and I guess have been working on these pretty hard.
All right, thank you, sir.
That's all I have on my list, Dane. So I'm going to send the spotlight back to you.
Oh, sweet.
And
Wow, I want to swing over to Captain Eddie and see what he thought about the demo this evening. If he's still on. He is not.
No, I'm
All
here.
right.
I'm
He
right
said
here.
Are you there?
I'm
Where
right
you
here.
at, Cap?
I don't know where I'm at, but I'm right here.
There you are. I got you. I got you. I got you.
I lost 4
There we
pounds
are.
last month. Hey, give me a cut. You know,
That'll work.
Melt away.
I'm looking for congratulations. That was really good, Al. Al, I like the way you came, where you went about that. And I was just like Tim. I was sitting there going, you know, they're coming off. They're coming. I'm going to get a plexiglass shield here. And I'll be all right. But it was a good demonstration, Al.
Thank you.
And a lot of technique in there. And I'm glad to see you on board as a demonstrator. And Al, I'm glad you broke the ice for some of these folks because, hey, folks, if Al can do it, really, this is not a slam, it's the truth. If Al can do it, you can do it, and you can share what you know in your workshop. And that's what I'm looking for. That's what we're all looking for. We sat here tonight and heard professionals give tips to turners having problems. And even tonight, as went through gallery, we're explaining what's going on, the techniques being used, how we say held this, saved that, finished this, covered that. It's more than a time to just talk about your work. It's a time to talk about wood turning, and I really like that. You know, a while back we were targeting an item each week to just expand our conversation here in the evenings on Wednesday nights, and we're picking an item that can be kind of a common thread about what was going on. And what I'm seeing right now, it hit me because I was playing with something the other day and I had pink fingers for 2 days because I was playing with the color, and I forgot that some colors will go through some of these really, really cheap latex gloves. They're not a good barrier. You got to go for the better grade ones, not the ones you can swipe off the doctor's office. But I was playing with coloring something to add a little color. I saw something Dewey did, and I said, "Hey, they can add that color and do this. I can add this color and do that." So if you're coloring with things, safety Sue jump on this both feet. Be careful about the product you're using. And I have to say it a little bit more. I'm kind of a nut about the material safety data sheets, the MSDS, the information that you get with chemicals and dyes and such. Don't disregard them. Take a second before you use them. Let's not do this man thing, use it, then read the instructions, okay? Let's not wing it first and hope for the best. Let's look at it and see what's there. See what it could lead to toxicity. I once inherited a whole load of mesquite from a guy that couldn't be in a room with it. He was that allergic to it. We're just turning it. The off-gassing of mesquite would affect the sinuses. And after a while, different treatments and doctors and taking those little white pills every day and all that, he finally realized what it was and got away from it. I got it. But same thing with Paduke. I had, when I'm early days of turning, if I use Paduke, my cuticles would be sore for days and days. And my wife would say, "You're just cleaning your hands with the wrong stuff." The truth was, I wasn't cleaning my hands at all. Because to get the Paduke off, I should have been using a pure detergent product to get it off, and not a lotion or a soap. I should have used the detergent. And Dove became my best friend because it will remove that oil and slime from the Paduke, which was aggravating my cuticles. A simple little thing like that, but that was in the MSDS for that wood. If you looked it up, it would tell you with the skin allergies and contact, etc. And you've used things on where the inside of your nose got raw the next day and you wondered about it. Those are allergic reactions to the materials you use, from dyes to colors to inks to stains, and the cross in between them. And it's an old thing. If you start mixing these things together, can they be mixed? Should they be mixed? And what will happen? It's never a good thing to blend more to get better. It's not, no, more good doesn't give you more power. More doesn't give you more strength. More is just more. I was explosive ordnance disposal tech when I was in the Air Force, and I had to go into a house on the airbase one time and recover a body. A lady had mixed cleaning supplies to clean her kitchen and off-gassed. She was dead before she hit the floor. So she blended it. It took us quite a bit, and we had to go M1A1 suits and go in and get her and bring her out. But that was a terrible, terrible experience. And then you realize all she did was put a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and then, you got all the stuff in the kitchen every day anyway. What could it hurt? To kill you. So when you're cleaning tools or cleaning liquids and stains and all, think about the MSDS. Let's look at it and take a quick peek at it and say, oh, that's what could go on. And maybe it won't go on in your life. You'll be one of the lucky ones to hobble through it. So,
are you a big, tough, scary guy?
Pardon?
Are you a big, tough, scary guy? Okay, go tell everybody how scary you are.
Oh, JJ's talking to.
Come here.
Okay,
come here.
all right. Okay, had me going there.
got
But
it.
before you experiment, do a little reading. It's just a little expansion on the safety minute, but I was sitting here listening to Sue tonight, thinking about new members, and you're looking at all the coloring and the fine art that we generate. And sometimes the color makes it explode, makes it pop, makes it go. Just don't make it awful. And have a little fun with it. And I never threw away printer ink out of a printer. Always found the use for it. But also found out that you had really good gloves, and don't ever get it on your clothes. You'll never hear the end of that. Those were good jeans. Oh my goodness, what are you doing? Sort of like that. And as a kid, if you cut yourself, it was all right. You would heal, but don't cut those clothes. Because I got to sew those.
Right, Ray.
So all right, get the Mercurochrome out and get back to work. But if you've got something to show us tonight, let's see a gallery. But more than gallery, you got some tips and hints you can share with us. And you got some ideas. You got a little something that popped up. Got that thing that tweaked in the back of your mind, and you said, you know what? We like to know what. Come on, share.
That's right. So I got something here, a little bit of thought provoking. So there's a gentleman over in Sweden that is a master of using hook tools, ring tools, and continental gouges in his turnings. And so I thought I'd play a couple short clips from his Instagram of the amazing shearing cuts that kind of goes counterpart to what a lot of us over here in America do. And so it's the gentleman's name is S.F. Varvolf, and he makes some really amazing turnings. But I'm going to show two different clips here where he's going to be working on the outside of a bowl using this Continental spindle gouge. It looks like about a half inch or probably a 3/4 inch spindle gouge. And he's just going up the side of this bowl and just getting the most immaculate shavings off of it. And then he in turn, the second clip would be with him doing it on the inside of the bowl. So let me bring this up, the share screen. All right, so here we are. So he's showing his Continental gouge right here, and of course that's his big ring tool. So get on with it here. Shavings coming off. Single Continental gouge. Look at that surface. And so he's got his bevel and grind cut the same as what he's got on his ring tool. And so now he's going to use the ring tool on the outside of a bowl.
I just want to interject, Dane, to let everybody know that's cross grain work, by the way.
Right. That's side grain. That's a side grain blank.
That gouge, was that a Continental style spindle gouge?
It's a continental spindle gouge, correct?
Yeah. Okay.
All right. So the next one. Go back to share screen. Now we're going to do the inside. It's only going to take it down to about the transition. Look at those shavings. Now he takes it up to the ring tool all the way home. Most ring tools you see are real small diameter. And this ring tool looks like it's pushing 3/4 of an inch to an inch.
That's his 1 inch tool, Dane.
That's his 1 inch.
That's his 1 inch.
So I just thought I'd show that well, me and Scott were talking the other night, and we thought it would be neat to, show some different turning styles and techniques, from around the world, So we're gonna try and come up with various little clips and whatnot, just to show different thought processes and turning techniques with different tools that the majority of us are not used to using. And show that there's way more than one way to get that pellet off the box. So I thought that was pretty thought provoking. Of with the sheer clean cuts he was getting off that spindle gouge, both on the inside and the outside of the bowl there. So with that, I'll leave it open to any comments on it. If anyone's got any questions or whatnot, we'll try to answer, and we'll go from there for now.
Well, I see a lot of discussion about do I have the right tool? Should I use a different tool? I keep getting catches and this and that. And what this demonstrates is that a shear cut is a shear cut, and it's all about tool presentation and how the spinning wood meets the cutting edge. So it doesn't matter what tool you're using, really. I mean, you could use a square scraper and get cuts like that if you had the right orientation. It's all about tool presentation. So it's an interesting discussion for sure. So thank you, Dane.
Yeah, you're welcome. I thought it was neat.
A couple of things that jumped out to me immediately. One, he was cutting with the grain, not against it. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I have seen a ton of folks turning against the grain lately, and it gets scary sometimes. You stick that Continental gouge into unsupported grain, in grain, and don't have that steep angle on it, you're going to have a problem. You're going to have a problem if you use a bowl gouge. So the other thing was the sheer angle that he presented his edge at. It was, he wasn't digging it straight in. He had that angle, had the tool closed pretty much, and then high, so that he was shearing across there. He wasn't trying to dig it out, just shear it out. Makes a big difference. So those are two things that I noticed right away, and where a lot of people make mistakes. They go against the grain and they don't use a shearing angle.
Yeah.
One of the other things that that I've seen a lot of folks have problem with is they get too much tool over that tool rest, and then it starts getting that torque. So that was one of the things I learned when I first started turning. I was guilty of it and am still guilty of it occasionally, but I always try to readjust my tool rest as I'm cutting deep into a bowl or hollow form, so I have tool support while I'm making them cuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played with a ring tool about 5 years ago, and I never got a comfort level with it. And I imagine if I spent more time with it, I would have gotten it. And the other thing that concerned me was, how am I going to sharpen this thing? Because there's no real instructions on that. And so I ended up, I've been wanting to play with an Oland tool, and a gentleman in our club had an Oland tool, and he's been wanting to play with a ring tool, and we end up trading. So everybody came out happy.
There you go.
Jeff,
Yeah.
if you go to his Instagram page, he
Whose?
shows you this fellow that Dane was just showing you. If you go to his Instagram page, he actually shows you how to sharpen that ring tool correctly, and he does
That's
it by
good,
hand.
because there's so little information out there about that.
He's a ring tool specialist.
Mm-hmm.
So he actually contracts with a company from where he's from to make his ring tools, and you can buy them from that company. They're a bit expensive to have shipped here, obviously.
Yeah.
But, Crown right now is making a 1-inch ring tool based on his design.
Mm-hmm.
So he essentially sharpens it, and he does it on the platform. And he essentially uses a plane iron, for honing, or your chisels, for honing on, to sharpen your plane iron or your chisels.
Yeah.
And he puts the bar inside, and he flips it over, and then he's sitting on his grinder, and it's a sweeping motion going back across. And so it's very intuitive as soon as you see it. And I've done it with mine. My big, I would demonstrate on how to use or how I use the ring tool, but I don't have the soft woods that you all have. It's just not readily available for me. But it works great, especially on the softer woods, and then definitely on the wetter woods, that's been down maybe a year. You guys can just giddy up on it, and it leaves an immaculate surface. It really does. And on your vessel, not only can you cut up and down, but you can also cut from 11 to 5, so 12 to 6, 11 to 5. Sweeping motions up, sweeping motions down, and you never, or 7 to 2. And with that bevel, you never lose contact with the wood. But it's all about having that position, having the ring tool ground right, and keeping that continuous small bite, and you can it really leaves a really good grain cut, and it really removes the wood really quick.
Yeah.
So, like any of the rest of our tools, we use the skew or the scraper as an example. That's the nemesis. Those two tools are the nemesis for the majority of wood turners in their first experience, probably to 10 years experience before they figure out how to use it properly. You only get better by doing, and you just keep practicing with it, small item at a time, and the technique and the stroke it'll finally click with you. And like what I do, whenever I demo, I always show that the lathe doesn't have to be running. All you got to do is put your tool there, and if you're presenting the tool correctly, no matter what the tool is, just by hand power, you can make a fine, good quality little squiggly shaving, and it's going to leave a nice smooth surface just by holding the tool there and turning the spindle by hand, with the hand wheel. And do that with any new tool you get. That's how you initially learn what is that tool presentation, what does that tool rest height need to be. Do I need to be on center? Do I need to be a little bit above center? You know what I mean?
Right. Yep. The other thing I want to mention about Dane's little clips tonight, I messaged him earlier today to ask him what speed he turns at. He never uses his ring tool or his Continental Gouge over 450 RPMs, no matter the size of the bowl.
Interesting.
You could kind of tell that, in those two little clips that, he wasn't turning very fast.
And he says that's
real time speed.
He says that's for control purposes, that you have better control over that tool in contact with the wood, is what his response back to me was.
So if y'all would like to, see little clips like that, going forward, give me a hell
definitely.
yeah.
Definitely. Yep.
Sure. We'll try to bring in some little clips, a little bit of thought provoking,
Yep.
Bring them on.
Bring
Definitely.
a little
knowledge is everything.
Different. Yeah, amen. So I'm gonna send him a shout out later tonight or tomorrow, and
I just thought it was interesting. We all talk about not using a Continental Gouge on the inside of a bowl.
Right. Yeah, because of the tang. The tang is flat. The tang.
Right.
And in all honesty, it's got nothing to do with the tang. Because when did bowl gouges come out? Round bar, solid round bar, and then it was milled.
Yeah. Late 70s, early 80s.
Late 80s.
Right.
About
because
the same time.
We didn't have bowl gouges 30 years.
About the same time Nova Technitool came out with the first real wood turning chuck. About the same time frame. Prior to that, Ellsworth, sitting on top of his lathe bed. What was he holding on to? He was holding on to a spindle gouge. And Richard Raffin, even Richard, he still swears by spindle gouges, over a bowl gouge. And of course, the number one reason why Raffin says he prefers a spindle gouge over a bowl gouge. Does anybody know the answer to that?
Cheaper steel.
Cheaper steel. Spindle gouge is cheaper than a bowl gouge.
Yeah.
And you'll see it so many times in the wood turning forums. When somebody says that they're using a spindle gouge, and then somebody else will come back and say, no, you're wrong. You need to be using the bowl gouge for that. The bowl gouge, does this, and the bowl gouge does that. Bowl gouge, the only thing the bowl gouge does is it's got a deeper flute, which allows for faster, bigger chip clearance, which means you can take a bigger, harder cut. Beyond that, there's no difference between a spindle gouge and a bowl gouge. They cut the same way.
I can also argue that the shape
the same way.
I could also argue that the shape of the tip is different. The profile is different, And
Right, but
I mean,
however, that shape is ground based upon how you grind it, right?
you're absolutely right about that.
Right.
Yep.
So
Yep.
so
Very, very true.
yes.
Yep. And it's yeah. And
If you got it
to be
ground,
fair,
ground differently, it's not going to perform the same. But if you got two tools, one's got a shallow flute, one's got a deep flute, and they have this, and you're starting with the same parameters for the grind, they're going to cut the same.
Yep. And Richard Raffin has developed some very useful techniques. I mean, if you watch his videos and watch how he uses a spindle gouge, it's very efficient. But I trying to teach those techniques to people, I can do them, but it's hard to teach those techniques to people because it requires a very fine control, because it's just millimeters from getting a big catch on the inside. If you rotate it just a little bit wrong, you tear your piece up. But it's all about riding the bevel and about tool presentation, just like everything else. So it's
Right.
it's interesting to see his techniques.
Tool presentation is everything.
It is. Yeah, absolutely it is.
Well, let's see. Let me run to Daniel here. He's got something.
Well, we got Patrick. Patrick was in before he was. So if you're ready to go back to
okay.
Yep. So we're
go
gonna
ahead,
show
Matt.
Patrick. Yep. See what Patrick has.
Okay, I thought I'd try my hand at turning a little bit of concrete this week. I picked up a piece of pecan that was dry as a bone, and I think I used every tool in my arsenal to get that bowl turned.
Oh, nice.
It turned out pretty
That's
decent.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
Very nice.
And I got that, and what to do with the other one? That's a piece of ash that's 6-cornered, hollow form.
Oh, I love that piece. Very nice.
That's beautiful.
Beautiful.
That's nice. Very nice.
And it was hard as a rock too.
Yeah, pretty.
Yeah.
That's really
Those
pretty.
need to go in the newsletter.
Most definitely.
Ash gets like that. Yeah.
Yes, it does. That's all I got.
Thank you, Patrick. Those are beautiful.
Thank you.
Next up is Daniel. And you're muted or something. Can't hear you.
Come on, Dan.
Still can't hear you.
Muted.
Well, he's not muted, but he's got the. Okay, so it's a one of those planning
Dibbler.
things, right? What do you
Dibbler.
call it?
Dibbler.
There you go.
Dibber.
Fancy dibber.
We're going to say it's a dibbler.
Yeah.
Could be a
Ribs
plumb
for,
bob.
Ribs for pleasure.
No, we're not going to say that.
Stop that.
Dan, we can't hear you. We can see your lips moving, but we can't hear what you're saying.
Must be muted.
No, he's not muted. He just got the wrong mic selected.
If it's a dibber, the lines are for the depth of planting the seed.
Yes.
Yes,
Yep.
yes, yeah, yep. Sorry. My bad.
Oh, now you are muted.
Being
And
honest.
it's not even
Hey,
a
Dan.
demo.
Hey, Dan, Dan, we're going to come back to you so
How's
you can
that?
figure out.
There you
Okay.
go.
Yeah, now we can hear you.
Okay. Well,
And now we have an echo.
this was. Now I'm lost.
Hard
Okay.
loss.
You'll have to turn the other mic off. There's
Now
an echo.
this I
You got an echo.
put
No,
that black
turn your-
dye up, sanded it back, and then I put orange dye on it. My wife said it looked like a carrot, and it did. So, but each one of these are 1 inch lines coming out. So, and you just push it in, And I'm going to make a bunch of these up to sell, but I'm just going to leave them all orange. I think they'd look better.
Yeah, they do look nice. You know what, you guys that make those dibblers, what you ought to do, for the bottom, the second one to the bottom, you should laser on there or carve on there, for celery and carrots. And then the next one up for green beans, and then the next one up for sweet potatoes. That way a person knows, how deep they need to shove it in, when they're planting their seeds.
Well,
on the other side of the third one, put corn.
Well, that should be on your.
Assuming I know what depth that is.
Yeah, if there are actual depths for that stuff, it says a chart somewhere. We should put that on our website.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Because I had no idea what those would be. I made a lot of those.
Don't ask me how I know. Like I said, I grew up on a farm. So.
You garden at the grocery store, right?
That was fun to make. It didn't take long, except for I had to put a lot of resin in it, and I was just playing with resin. So it turned out nice.
Yeah, it's very nice. It's cool.
Looks great.
But I'm going to be selling them this spring, so.
Yep.
Yeah, it's right around the corner, brother.
Yeah.
I kind of like the handle on it because you can just put it in your fingers and use it. And I did drill a hole through it, the handle, and I'm going to put a little leather cord through it so you can hang it up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, that way you can hang it up. That way you hang it on the wrist, and then you ain't got to hold on to it all the time. The only time you got to grab it is when you're using it. Very good, Dan. All right, I want to go over to Scott, and I want to get Scott to show his box tool rest he made. There's a conversation in the chat about box tool rests.
There it is. It's not on the post right now. I'm gonna polish it a little more, so I took it off the post today, but there it is. Piece of flat bar you can buy at Tractor Supply or Home Depot, wherever you want. It's 3/8 thick, 5/16 hole that's been chamfered. I don't know. 5/16 chamfered bolt with a hex head. And it just all goes together like that. I cut it out with my drill press my brain just went blank. Not a saber saw.
Then all you need is a 1.5 inch bolt.
Yep. Well, you don't even need it that big. 5/16 is plenty in a 1 inch bar.
Yeah.
That's all you really need.
And then tell them how you're going to set your how you're going to do the coal pins.
So I'm gonna put
roll pins,
multiple coal pins in it. I'm gonna put one on the end, one in the middle of this long bar, and then one back here somewhere. But I'm gonna use bolt that you use in a bearing, so it has a collar on it. It's threaded, small threads, and then it has a collar and a round top head, so that it looks like a roll pin, but it's actually a bolt. And I'm just gonna tap the holes so that I can move it to whatever hole or take it out if I don't want it, whatever the case may be.
That's better than a spring pin, that's for sure.
Right.
That's a great idea, Scott.
It's a roll pin bolt, basically, or it's a bolt that they use if they're going to put a bearing on something and they want it to ride, but they don't want it to bind up. It rides on the shoulder bolt.
Shoulder bolt.
I used the reciprocating saw to cut that out. That's what I used.
There you go.
So this was a 3-inch wide piece. That's what I had. And I wanted to get 2 tool rests out of it. And I didn't want to make this one too short. So to cut this notch in here, I drilled a series of 5/16 holes on my drill press that overlapped. And I cut this way then, and it just fell off. And same down this way, it came off this way because I drilled my holes in here ahead of time. So when I cut this, it freed it. When I cut that, it freed it. Now I have 2 halves to make a second one if I want to make a second one.
Cool.
Yeah, it's a great idea. I just thought it'd be a good idea to show that off. There was somebody saying they needed to get a box tool rest. So I just thought that'd be a good idea to show that how easy one can be made. And you probably got what, $10, $15 in that?
Not even. I think I bought a 1 foot piece of bar stock for, God, I think it was only like $10, and I got $1.80 in the bolt, I believe.
Right.
And,
Yeah, so
and you
it's
can,
definitely easily done, Sheila.
But you could go to Robust Tool and spend $74 for it.
right.
Right. Yeah. Or you could do that.
And this is what I use to chamfer the hole.
Yep.
You know, so it's not tough. You just have, I mean, you could do it without a drill press. You could drill it by hand. Chamfering a hole by hand is not the easiest thing to do when you want to
Nice chamfer.
make a nice smooth chamfer, but it can be done. You can even chamfer if you really want to. You can use a drill bit to start your chamfer. So you drill your 5/16 hole first, and then you would just step up in drill bit sizes, and then take your chamfer bit and just clean up that hole after you're done. You know, it's that if you were going to use a hand drill, that's probably the way I would do it. I would drill it with different size drill bits till I got close to the size of the bolt head, and then I would just take my chamfering tool and clean up those steps. It's just a way to save yourself some money. I mean, they get ridiculous prices for just a piece of flat bar like that. You could probably go to the junkyard and get an old car spring, and that would work just as good. And it'd be plenty strong if you got the top spring off a stack of springs. Did Dane sneak away on us?
Yep.
Yep. Cat time.
Cat time. Okay. I forgot he's still got one he's got to do. So, I mean, I can show you the other half of the bar so you get an idea, but. And then you can make them any width you want, you know. If you buy a 3-inch bar, like this one's 1.25 inches wide, you could make them 1.5 inches, whatever you want. You know.
That's really
I just bought a 1 foot piece of bar, and I've used that 1 foot piece of bar for several different projects.
How thick did you say, Scott?
It's 3/8.
3/8. Okay.
And you wouldn't have to put this notch on here. I just copied the one that Robust had on their website. Looked at it.
Right.
You could bolt the bar right to the end. And then you wouldn't have to do any cutting. You just have to do the drilling.
Mm-hmm.
And I took a file. I used a file to round the edges. I just used a good file.
Right.
So you don't.
And what's the purpose of the pins you're putting in them?
That's the pin is for when you're deep hollowing. You can rest your tool against the pin. So if this is down in your bowl like this, you can rest the pin and be out here on the edge. Now you got something so your tool doesn't kick back. You're using it like a fulcrum. Especially when you're using carbides, the pin is nice because you're using it as a fulcrum to keep that tool, to give you a little more leverage on the tool.
Gotcha.
And control, especially deep in a bowl because you can't get your hand down in here, right, Billy?
Right.
So your tool is way back here, extended over your tool rest, or your tool rest is way up here and your hands are way back where my hands are. There's no way to keep that on that bar. It's hard to hold it down. It wants to kick up.
Yep.
So this way that pin gives you a little bit of support and some more leverage on the end of the tool. Most of the box tool rests you see that are manufactured have some kind of roll pin in the end. Well, the roll pin is, if you ever tried to take a roll pin out, they can be a real pain.
Yeah.
And then they can be a real pain to put back in if you want to put them back in. But I've seen people
Yes,
using
sir.
some videos just recently of people using these when they use their carbides, especially the round carbides. They've been using this instead of the regular tool rest. They use this, and then it gives that tool more support when you're cutting across the piece. You got this wide tool rest for this tool to sit flat on, so you're not doing this or doing this.
Mm-hmm.
And if you want to turn the tool, now you got a little bit more tool on the surface if you want to angle this tool a little bit. It's just, it has a lot of uses. It's just whatever you can create to use it with, you know. People are
what length is that one?
I think it's 7 inches, but I don't remember. It's approximately 7 inches and an inch and a quarter wide. Actually, I take that back. It's an inch and a half wide now that I measured it. So this section where your tool's going is an inch and a half. And if it, with the notch, I think I made it 2 inches with the notch. So the widest part is 2 inches. And you just center your whatever size tool post you have in the center of that little leg that's sticking out. Well, like I said, you don't have to put that leg on there. I think if I build another one, I won't put the leg on it. I'll just make it straight.
Somebody cut that noise off.
Thanks, Scott.
I've been into building tools this week. Right now, I'm in the process of building an articulating arm. So another week or so, I'll probably have that done to show.
Like
good to know. Good to know. Hopefully, you've taken some wisdom from my designs.
Well, I looked at what Tim Yoder had, and I have a hard time paying $475 for an articulating arm hollowing system.
Yeah.
Right now, I got $40 in the one I got, and that includes all the parts to put it together.
Ah.
Hey Scott.
Yeah.
I made a Captain Eddie articulating arm.
Yep.
And believe me, everything was right here in my graphs, and it's perfect. And you know what else I did? I'm gonna show you this. What else I did with it?
Yeah, now let me find you.
I made another tool rest, and here I have my cutter. I have my cutter, and it has a stabilizer on the top. You see it?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I can adjust it up and down. And man, you want to do some hollowing with your articulating arm, in and out. You know what? Your arm gets tired of going in and out. You know?
Right. For sure.
Yeah. But it's an idea. I mean, like I said, it's 1 inch round bar, and I drilled. I made a flat here, drilled down through it. But it's a real nice tool steady for sure. You can adjust it any way, whatever tool you're gonna put in it, up and down, just nuts and bolts.
Yeah.
But articulating arm. I followed Captain Eddie, and it's super simple, but it worked for me. I've had it for about almost 5 years now.
Jameson's hollowing system also uses a capture system like that, Al. Only it uses a D-bar, and the capture section is on the back end, not the front end.
Right.
I might have been holding it wrong, showing it. I might have been holding it wrong, showing it. I mean, there's so many nice ways to make an articulating arm.
Yep.
I will give you a few weeks and you can demo that, or you can demo that for us.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, for sure. Tell you what, I wore a path in my whole garage here since about 7 o'clock.
Hey, Al, you can buy self-leveling cement to fill that.
No,
that
I mean,
trough
I
you need.
knew what I wanted.
You did a great
I
job,
knew what I
man.
wanted to do. I've done before. My good friend, he showed me to do it and stuff. But it was so weird not having the sound. Like as soon as you hit your tool to the work, you're already like. I mean, I have this sound going on around me, and it wasn't there tonight, and that was like the weirdest thing, But yeah, I was out of my element. But I mean, there's a million things that need to be done. This way. I like I said, I chickened out. I was just showing you guys, by cutting that off, that you could do that. But to really think about it, this all could be tapered down more, and it's going to be. I'll probably show it next week, and all of this, should be like, flared out. Excuse me. But I was just trying to show, what the the deal, would kind of been. But yeah, I mean, when if anybody decides to do it, yeah, take your time and go inside there and make a lot of nice deep definition in between the top and the feet. So it's a nice little piece. Hopefully I show it next week finished. But yeah, I'll do another one. It's it's yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'll do another one, I guess. So one day.
Thanks for doing the demo tonight, Al, and I think you did a fine job. And now you got it under your belt. The next one won't be so hard. So.
Yes, it will.
No, it won't.
Nah.
I promise you.
No, they get easier after each successive one. They get easier.
Yes, it will. Exactly. It'll be the exact same way. I didn't even show a piece this week because I couldn't concentrate on that, and making sure everything's going to work this way, So I didn't even show tonight. I have something half done. And yeah, but yeah, hey, I've been here. It's not. I don't think not quite 2 years. And I've watched all of really great entertainment every Wednesday. And yeah, you can't just keep taking all the time. Yeah, and I felt that. And yeah, I mean, of course, it wasn't Phil Anderson, but it was and the wood was. Yeah, I didn't realize the end grain either, but it is what it was. I thought it turned out okay, but
yeah, it did. It went well.
You know what, Al? Phil Anderson's been doing it every single week for years.
I know that.
Yeah, it's a very natural thing for him. But you did an excellent job tonight.
And you and I both know what he's going to say every single moment.
Yes, pretty much.
Pretty much.
Rinse, wash, and repeat.
Yeah, there's not a lot of surprises with Phil.
No. But,
unless he's surprised.
Hey, I'm there every Thursday night.
Yeah, I love Phil.
Yep, for sure.
Phil and the Papa, they're my two favorites.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, oh definitely, and he's for me, he's Friday afternoon.
Yeah, and then Dean if he ever gets back to it in his new shop. I miss Dean.
Who's
Yeah,
Dean?
can't wait to see his shop.
Who's Dean?
Yeah, really.
Dean
Dean
Grimes.
Dean Grimes. Yep.
Dean Grimes.
He's got the
Oh.
dream shop he's building out there, and
Yeah.
yeah.
My
Yeah.
favorite episode of his is when his daughters told him he had to smile. You can see that was very uncomfortable for him.
Oh, he smiles sometimes. He just doesn't realize
he's much better for it now. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a fella that I also catch every Friday along with the Papa. His name is Chris Gaskin, and his channel is Ultra Woody, and he has a clever little thing every Friday. Ultra Woody, and he's he's one of my. It's like it just pops up every Friday.
Yeah.
And he gives you a lot of great ideas of a lot of things. And I think he's very nice and entertaining to watch. He's enjoyable. Just give that in there. But yeah, it was nice. It was nice. Thank you.
Hey, Dane.
Yeah.
I wanted to add something to what Captain Eddie said tonight. About the fumes and things like that. And
yes,
2019, I had a bladder tumor removed, and then Monday I'm going in to get another one removed because I was for my checkup. I was supposed to have been the last, and they found another one. So I've done a lot of research on it, and the things that really stood out to me was two things that they know causes bladder cancer and bladder tumors, and that is aniline dyes and naphtha, which are two things a lot of us have in our shops. So something to bear in mind.
Jeff, where would I find naphtha?
Naphtha? Well, you can buy it at.
It's right beside
No,
the.
I mean,
it's right next to. It's right next to acetone and things like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Flip clean.
It's actually more powerful than
acetone. It's a solvent then?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's
So
the
Jeff,
most. It's the most powerful of them. Yep.
Would it be in anything else?
That I don't know.
hey Jeff, do
That'd
they
be a good
think
thing to
it's
research.
Jeff? Do they think it's an inhaled thing or skin contact absorbed through your skin?
Both.
Both.
And they also, in my research, found out that more women get bladder tumors than men because of hair dye. And there's a big lawsuit going on about that one right now.
I don't do that.
Yeah, a lot of women do though.
That makes common sense, and we have been brought up in this like how you call it commercial of you commercials that you have to dye your hair and blah blah blah, and no one even thinks about the damage that's going on. I mean,
Well, my youngest sister was a beautician for a few years. She went to school and everything, and she ended up having to quit it after 6 months because the fumes were killing her.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to find out a lot of different things coming up real soon.
Yeah, and the one that really surprised me when I did my research is they said the number one cause of bladder tumors is smoking. And I never put the two together. I think lung cancer was smoking. But nothing like that. So anyways, I just wanted to bring, since Captain pointed that out, I wanted to mention that too, because that's two things that we see in a lot of woodworking shops.
Yeah, naphtha is one thing I don't have that. I don't use it for anything.
Yeah,
I don't know how many others do.
I don't even know what it was. So thank you, Jeff.
Not since my old garage days.
Yeah, acetone is about the most powerful I go.
We used it to clean shop rags.
Yeah. Yep.
And parts and stuff.
Well, acetone is fingernail polish remover.
Yeah.
Yep.
And who knows what that causes? Well, it's also CA glue remover. It's much
Yes,
better
it's
than debonder.
Yes,
absolutely.
yeah, totally it
Yeah,
is.
for
Yeah.
sure. Right.
But we were growing up to believe this is a miracle.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have to use this.
Yep.
I tell you, we have been that paraded.
Yep. And it's the same with women are taught from the time they're very young girls that you have to do this and look this way. And look at the result of it. Yeah.
It's called brain wars.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Right.
So I just wanted to bring that up and forewarn everybody. If you're going to use that stuff, use it with, make sure you're protected. Respirator, and gloves, heavy gloves. I use minimum 7mm gloves.
Interesting. That's why I asked you if it was inhaled or skin. Yeah.
They say both. Yeah.
How about that?
Yeah.
Interesting.
The whole body is sensitive. The whole body has nerve endings,
and
it's there's a lot to the human body. It's I mean there's study. I mean constantly. I mean so many pressure points that, believe me, really will help so many people that take antibiotics for.
Well, Jeff, I've had 2 tumors removed out of my bladder also, but they contributed to, they said smoking. I said, I don't smoke. My wife said, you've been chewing all your life though, dipping all your life.
Yeah.
And they contributed to that.
I've lost some teeth from chewing all my life. Thank God that's all I ever hope happens so far.
Yeah. Well, when they discovered the first one, the first thing I said to my doctor was, "It's not from my bourbon, is it?"
Yeah.
And he goes, "No, there is no connection between the two." He says, with bourbon and drinking, you're worried about your liver and things like that. But I said, good.
Well, they do say that the skin is our largest organ in our body, and that absorption through our skin goes further than absorption through other means. So that makes an awful lot of sense. So, and you can feel. I mean, you get something like rubbing alcohol on your hands or something. You can feel it. You can feel that. It's not good for you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, thanks, Jeff. That's good. That's good information.
That was basically it.
How'd this even start?
Well, it came from what Captain Eddie said earlier. So that's how.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk about the allergic reactions I've had to woods.
Yeah, well, I know I've got one to Cocobolo. And Paducah.
Oh, that's right. That's
And
what
Paducah,
we're talking about. Not because of that. Right.
And it's too bad because Coca-Cola smells great when you're turning it.
It does.
It's a nice spicy smell.
Yeah.
They say there's 2 types of wood turners: those that are allergic to cocoa and those that will be. So far,
that's true. Because I wasn't when I first started turning it.
Yeah. So far, I'm still in the will be category.
Yeah. I even still have some mild reactions wearing a respirator with it.
I believe it. I have it on my skin. I had to stop turning it altogether. I couldn't. I got some of the dust on my skin, and my whole arms were all angry red rashes and stuff. It's crazy. And I got to be careful because I might be developing something like that to walnut. So, and I turn a lot of walnut, so I got to be careful about that. So.
Yeah,
I'm taking more precautions when I turn walnut now.
Yeah, I took a class about 12 years ago with Ernie Conover down in Ohio, and we were turning bowls. And he takes you outdoors and he cuts up the wood right from the log and stuff that you're going to use. And he had some walnuts, so we all went, yeah, I want walnut. And one of the young guys there that was turning it all of a sudden started breaking out in a rash. His hands started swelling up. He couldn't breathe. We had to call an ambulance, and he has a nut allergy. And if you have a nut allergy, turning walnut is a dangerous thing.
Yeah, and about 4 or 5 years ago, I acquired nut allergies, so I didn't have them, and all of a sudden I got them. So
lucky you, huh?
Yeah, it might have come from the fact that I was eating Nutella by the spoonful right out of the jar, but
isn't that the way you're supposed to eat it?
Just going to say the same thing. That's the way. Same with peanut butter.
Why pollute it with other things? You know?
Yeah.
You only dirty one spoon, and if you live alone, you just use your finger.
Right. Well, and frankly, the way I was licking that spoon clean, it's not like it was dirty when I was done anyway. So.
Just put it back in the drawer.
Yeah. I was keeping that by the bedside.
Don't do that.
I know Carl Jacobson, his wife can't be anywhere near his shop when he's turning walnut.
Walnut, that's right.
And he has to thoroughly clean his shop after he turns walnut and empty his dust collector and everything before she goes in it.
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that was a big surprise to me having that happen with that young guy. And I never realized that myself. And Ernie was even shocked. So,
it's a good lesson for all of us, I think.
Yeah. Yep.
Rosewood will even do that too. Any rosewood will do that too. The better they smell, the worse they are for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and cocoa is a rosewood.
Yeah, I was going to say cocoa's a rosewood.
Cocoa bolo, blackwood.
Ash gets
anything. And like you said, walnut too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sensitizers. The more you're exposed to it, the more you're likely to get an allergy to it.
That makes sense. A little scary too. I hope I never develop an allergy to cherry. I love turning that.
Oh, I know it. I would die.
Yeah.
Well, cherry won't do it to you. It's the dust will, though.
That's why we turn it wet.
That's right.
Well, I better not develop an allergy to maple because that's the easiest wood for me to get a hold of.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
well,
maple.
I think probably if we take adequate precautions with dust collecting and masks and stuff, that I think that probably will reduce our sensitivity to it if we don't get it in our lungs and things.
Yeah.
I don't have very good dust collection, but I never turn without my Air Shield Pro on.
Yeah, I agree.
That's very wise. That's very wise. Yeah.
Like I said, I was totally out of my element. I was totally out of my element because I didn't have that noise.
Yeah.
Well, I will tell you, Al, that Zoom does cut a lot of that noise out. So next time, try it.
Dane and I tried it, and no, it would just it would just wiped it off. It's right here. This thing I'm right here. This is my dust collector. I have insulation around the dust collector, with the canister. I have insulation around that, around the top, and then I have insulation around this piece of cardboard. So I have 2 layers, and it's still loud as hell. It's loud.
Yep.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, it does anything is that I've seen. All of the other, what they say, the Jet and the Grizzly and all. It does the exact same thing. I bought this about 4 years ago, like about $160, and it's like doubled the price right now. And but I'm happy, with the Harbor Freight. I'm sorry if nobody knew what I was talking about. Harbor Freight. I was talking about because Doug Miller on his live yesterday, we bounced around and talked about it. So that's why I was talking about what's behind me here. It's a Harbor Freight dust collector.
Yeah.
And it's loud.
That's what I've got too, with a wind filter on it.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and I love it.
Yeah.
Sure.
So my rule of thumb though is when I'm in the shop, even if I'm not doing any cutting or sanding, if I'm just doing, like I've been gluing segments all week, I wear my respirator because there's a lot of dust in the shop. You can't get it all.
Yep. And when you're walking around, you're kicking it up, it's getting airborne.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense.
I chain smoke all day. I'm good.
That'll get
Well,
you.
you say you saying you're reducing your lung function dramatically, so it's not an issue. Is that what you're saying?
I don't need the lungs that long. So yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway. All right. So with that, it's top of the hour. So this appreciate everybody coming out. We had a hell of a turnout. We had 108 people on at the
nice.
night.
I saw that. That's why I started
which
bouncing around my
fantastic.
shop. I saw 108
Yeah, outstanding. Right? Yeah, the word must have got out that Mr. Dawson was going to be demonstrating tonight.
Oh, yeah,
he really pulled them in. Whatever you did.
I hear you. I hear you.
Right. So with that, we had a great turn. We saw a lot of beautiful turnings that the folks showed us in the gallery throughout the evening. We had some really good tips and tricks on various items. Scott Teague showed off how to make a box tool rest, on the down low, the frugal method, and you're able to customize it and make it work for you even better than the $70 and $80 tool rest you'll get at the big manufacturers. And we won't say names and run them down because of their costs. Hey, they got bills to pay too, and money to collect from people willing to buy it instead of make it. So that's why we're here. So with that, this will be the demarcation point for the official meeting and the start point of the after hours party that we do every week. So for those that want to pop off and not have to worry about saying goodbye, go ahead and do so now if you want. No hard feelings if you don't say goodbye. Otherwise, if you want to hang out, chit chat, and we'll solve the world's problems. And then we can send emails and see what kind of results we get with that later on. So, all right. So with that, carry on.